So, you think you know what makes a workplace creative? You know, the free coffee, the bright open plan office, the endless brainstorming sessions? Well, what if I told you most of that stuff doesn't really matter? A brand new study just dropped, and it turns our common wisdom completely on its head. The findings are not what you'd expect, so let's dive right in.
I mean, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? For any manager, any team leader, anyone who wants to do something new. In a world that's all about innovation, how do you actually create a team where breakthrough ideas can happen?
We tend to focus on the perks, right? The visible stuff. More meetings, better snacks, maybe a foosball table in the corner. But what if all of that is just window dressing? This new research suggests that the real secret sauce for creativity is way deeper, and honestly, a lot more powerful than any surface-level fix.
Now, to find these answers, the researchers didn't head to some tech campus in Silicon Valley. Nope. They went somewhere totally different. They turned the service industry in Iraq's Kurdistan region into this incredible, one-of-a-kind laboratory to study innovation.
So why Terra of all places? Well, because it's this fascinating pressure cooker. You've got these old-school top-down management styles clashing with a super young, globally connected, and dynamic workforce. It's the perfect environment to really put our standard ideas about creativity to the test.
Okay, so here are the vitals. The researchers did a quantitative study surveying 160 managers and employees in the city of Erbil, and their mission was simple: cut through all the noise and myths to figure out what actually measurably makes people more creative at work.
The whole study zeroed in on 5 specific things, 5 potential ingredients in the recipe for a creative culture. Let's break down exactly what they were measured.
All right, so this is basically their game plan. On the left, you've got the 5 workplace factors they investigated. And on the right, the big prize: productive, creative thinking. The whole point of the study was to see which arrows between them were the strongest. Simple as that. First up, we've got freedom. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. How much control do people have over their own work? Can they take a chance on a new idea without getting bogged down in red tape? Next is idea time and support. And let's be honest, this is the one a lot of us would probably bet on, right? It's about whether people are actually given time to think, and whether they're encouraged when they do come up with something new. Then you have playfulness. Now, this isn't about being unprofessional. It's just about the vibe. Is it a place where people can laugh and be a little bit silly, or is everything super serious and formal all the time? Factor 4 is a big one: debates. This is all about healthy conflict. Is it okay to challenge ideas? Are different points of view actually welcome, or does everyone just kind of smile and nod to avoid making waves? And finally, diversity. And this is the whole shebang. People from different backgrounds, with different educations, different life experiences, all bringing their unique perspectives to the table. Okay, so there they are, our 5 main suspects: freedom, idea time, playfulness, debates, and diversity. The researchers crunched the numbers, so which ones actually move the needle? Let's get to the results. First off, get this. Altogether, these 5 factors accounted for a whopping 63.3% of the differences in employee creativity. That is huge! It proves that your work environment isn't just a minor influence, it's a primary driver of new ideas.
But here's where it gets really juicy. When you break it down, a clear ranking emerges. The single most powerful factor? Diversity. Right on its heels was debates, and playfulness also had a solid, positive impact.
Let's just pause on that for a second. The 2 things that mattered most were having a mix of different kinds of people, and then creating a space where those people could openly and safely challenge each other's thinking. Real innovation, it seems, is sparked in that friction.
And for you data fans, check this out. You don't need to be a statistician, just look at the colors. Those darkest blue squares show the strongest connections. And what are they? You can see it right there. X5, diversity, and X4, debates, have the tightest link to Y, which is employee creativity. The numbers don't lie. You know, this isn't a totally new idea. The legendary creativity researcher Teresa Amabile said this way back in 1998. But what's so powerful about this study is that it confirms that this principle isn't just a Silicon Valley thing. It's a universal human thing.
Okay, but I know what you're thinking. What about that one factor we all assumed would be at the top of the list? What about just giving people time and support for their ideas?
And here it is, the biggest shock of the whole study. Ready? Idea time and support had no statistically significant impact. 0. Zilch. Let that sink in. It suggests that just giving people innovation time is totally useless if you don't first have a diverse team that's encouraged to debate. The culture is what makes the time valuable.
Wow. So now that we've seen the data, what do we actually do with all this? How do we take these surprising findings and turn them into action? Let's get practical.
The study basically gives us a 3-step playbook. 1, prioritize diversity. Like, really make it a core part of your strategy, not just a buzzword. 2, intentionally build an environment where people feel safe enough to disagree. That psychological safety is key. And 3, loosen up. Don't underestimate the power of a little humor and a relaxed atmosphere to get the ideas flowing.
So if you remember one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. Real, game-changing creativity isn't about perks. It's about culture. It's about a culture that actively invites different perspectives in, and then encourages those perspectives to have a healthy, constructive clash.
And all this leaves us with one final, kind of challenging question. Most workplaces are designed to maximize comfort and minimize conflict, but this research strongly suggests that true creativity is born from that very conflict. So take a hard look at your team, at your company, and ask yourself, is this place built for comfort, or is it built for creativity?